Today is Sunday, July 25th, 2021. Today, we're going to talk about how gravitational waves, gravity is generated. Okay? And we'll proceed with a question. On a physics forum, I found this question posted. So I'm reading from the forum. My main question is, what actually generates the gravitational force itself? Now, I know, of course, that gravity is proportional to the mass of an object. But that must mean that every atom on its own generates a very tiny amount of gravitational force, right? Question mark. Now, I take that question, and it's a very good question. And the answer is yes. Every atom, okay, actually it boils down to every nucleon sac, every proton sac, every neutron sac, every electron sac, every neutrino sac, okay? When it warms up, when a net implodes more God particle ones, then it expulses, okay? It's an issue of implosion over expulsion. Now, just like on Earth, we start at 1 atmosphere pressure, okay? For air. Air has 1 atmosphere pressure on Earth at sea level, okay? In space, the God particle ones, which are the tiniest particle of mass in the universe, okay? Our universe started from and grew from God particle ones. We have to start with something, okay? We know we have mountains. We know we have the earth. We know we have suns. We know we have galaxies, okay? And there has to be a building block for all that matter, okay? You can't have more matter without matter, okay? So there's this essence, this God particle one that appeared somehow, okay? And it is the basis from which our universe formed. And this God particle one appeared in a finite or developed a finite our universe developed a finite area. So how it is enclosed, I don't know. All I know is that our universe is finite in volume. And inside this universe, we had these God particle ones, the tiniest particle of mass in the universe. This is smaller than a neutrino. And then throw in a little string theory here, okay? Don't get carried away. Don't run away. Don't go to another channel, okay? It's a very simple string theory. Adoni's string theory is very simple, very easy to understand, and we don't have no equations, okay? So, we got the God particle one, we got a finite universe, and somehow this universe developed a movement, okay? And it developed, the God particle ones develop a bounce. And this bounce caused some of them to stick together. And as they stuck together, there was greater bounce. And eventually, the universe started having a one hertz bounce. The entire universe contracted and expanded 1 time a second. Okay? And this bounce as the GP1s develop the strands combine to form strings, and that's Adoni string theory. We start with the God particle 1s, they hook up with other God particles, and the God particles hook up into strings, and then the strings get woven into mass energy vessels. And the tiniest mass energy vessel that we're able to observe is the electron neutrino. So the electron neutrino is a woven sac, and inside, under pressure, electromagnetic waves have a compression cycle and a decompression cycle. Okay, there's a medium for electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves propagate in the medium of electromagnetic waves. And the bounce between God particle 1s is at light speed. That's how you get a constant speed for light. It has to do with the bounce. Similarly, for gravitational waves, there's a bounce. Okay? Now let's go back to this guy's question. He goes, now I know, of course, that gravity is proportional to mass. The mass of an object, but that must mean that every atom on its own generates a very tiny amount of gravitational force. And I say that's correct. And that the atomic level forces, the nucleon level forces, the electron gravitational forces, okay, harmonize together, and they result in a gravitational force for the mass. Okay, and the way this is accomplished is that the protons are sacs, and inside this permeable envelope are quark sacs, and inside and adjoined to like an up quark. Okay, they say up quarks and down quarks are elementary particles. What that means is the electron sac is indestructible. Okay, and I surmise that the electron sac is indestructible because it is minted along with an up quark. Okay, they also say the up quark is an elementary particle, but the up quark cannot exist outside the nucleon, the nucleon sac. Okay, so there's a nucleon sac, and this nucleon sac has 3 quarks inside of it. It has a proton has 2 up quarks and 1 down quark. Okay, and then from a neutron has 2 down quarks and 1 up quark. What I say is that the down quark is a combination. It's a combination with an electron sac and an up quark sac. Okay, the reason I say this is because when a neutron spits out an electron, okay, so a neutron decays into an electron, and that electron spits out, and it's indestructible. So in order for an electron sac to be indestructible, it has to be indestructible inside the neutron sac, okay? So the what they call a down quark that cannot survive outside the nucleon sac, okay, what they call a down quark must be a combo. It must be a combo with an up quark sac. So an up quark sac and an electron sac together, orbiting each other and hovering, they form the down quark. And then when you spit one of those electrons outside, when it goes through the permeable membrane, okay, that changes the neutron to a proton and an electron. Now, both those sacs are indestructible, okay, except under extreme circumstance. Like at the Large Hadron Collider, you can get the speed enough to rupture the sacs, okay? The easiest way to rupture a proton sac is with an antiproton. And the only difference between an antiproton is its charge. So a proton has a positive charge, and antiproton has a negative charge. And the reason for this is if you look down, each nucleon, each proton, okay, has a spin, okay, and that spin probably it's with electron neutrinos, okay, gives it is a dynamo. The way to think of each proton is like a little dynamo, okay? And that protons hover. They hover, okay? And neutrons hover, okay? So they never touch, okay? And we know that they never touch except when a proton is attracted to an antiproton, and then their mass energy vessels, their sacs, get ripped apart, okay? And once you rip the sacs apart, you got two sacs going in opposite directions, and you got the release of the compressed GP1s, the compressed potential energy, compressed GP1 energy inside each of the sacs. Now, the same thing happens with a electron and a positron, okay? They attract each other, they rip their sacs apart, and then 511 kilo electron volts of power separates them, okay? Now, in order to generate gravity, you have to net implode GP1s. And the reason that GP1s are net imploded like on Earth and in the center of Earth is because of the cosmic microwave background radiation. Okay, what that means is the CMBR is like at 160 gigahertz. Okay, that means that 160.3 billion times a second, there's a GP1 compression and decompression. Compression, decompression. Compression, decompression. Okay? And that's has harmonized over infinite time. Now, our universe produces radio waves, it produces gamma waves, X-rays, all sorts of different ways. Now, for those waves to harmonize, they have to bounce back from the edges of the universe. Okay? So they bounce back from the edges of the universe, and then they harmonize into the cosmic microwave background radiation. Well, what that means is that there's a positive GP1 ether pressure, the medium of electromagnetic waves, the medium of gravitational waves. There's a positive pressure, just like there's a positive pressure on air molecules on Earth. So air molecules on Earth have a positive pressure on them from gravity. And in space, there's also a positive pressure at the tiniest level, at the God particle 1 level. There's a bounce, okay? And this bounce is 160.3 billion times a second, okay? That's a pressure, okay? That pressure is strong enough. Well, let's talk a little cosmic weather. We'll throw in a lot of cosmic weather, and then I'm going to go out to dinner. Maybe we'll talk more later. Okay, we'll throw in a little cosmic weather. Here's the cosmic weather. Okay, we got the discovery of the dipole repeller. Okay, now let's move forward to think. The other issue with gravity is conservation of energy. Okay, gravitational force, it's a force. Okay, so you need a power source in order to generate gravity, and you need to conserve energy. Okay, the easiest way to understand the conservation of energy is that as nucleon sacs heat up, as more GP1s are imploded into it, we generate gravity, and we get the Shapley attractor, okay? And that's a low ether pressure system. It's identical to low air pressure on Earth. And actually, low air pressure on Earth is the result of nucleons heating and decreasing the volume of space. Okay? It's the same thing. It's low air pressure. So we get low air pressure from heat. So storms are powered by heat. The Shapley attractor, the great attractor, galaxies, okay, they're low GP1 ether pressure systems, okay, and the precipitation there is stars, okay, so you get stars from low ether GP1 pressure systems. On Earth, you get raindrops, okay? Now, high ether pressure or high air pressure on Earth, high GP1 ether pressure, is like the dipole repeller. Okay? So the pressure in the dipole repeller, the GP1 ether pressure, is higher in the dipole repeller. So it's pushing things out. Okay? So there's evidence for this. Stuff is moving away, separating. There's dark energy in the dipole repeller, a void, okay? That's close to us. So the astrophysics clearly tell us that the dipole repeller, and through the expansion of space, through dark energy, through these GP1s net expulsing from nucleon sacs and neutrino sacs, okay? They're cooling, more GP1s come out, space grows, and we get pushed at 290 kilometers per second towards the normal cluster, towards the Shapley attractor. And then the Shapley attractor is pulling us at 451 kilometers per second. And we're on our way. Talk more later. Bye.